Jungkook burst into tears in front of thousands of spectators when a surprising video of Suga was played on the big screen. That emotional moment further shook the atmosphere when Jin, who was standing beside him, could no longer hold back his tears. What exactly was in Suga's message that made these two BTS members so lost in their feelings? This scene took place during a special event that fans had been eagerly awaiting. For the past few weeks, the public has been wondering when Suga, who is known to be on hiatus from stage activities, would reappear. However, no one expected that Suga's appearance would come in the form of a short video that was suddenly played in the middle of the event. The atmosphere, which was initially boisterous, turned silent, as if the entire room was holding its breath, watching the moments when the message was being played. In the video, Suga was seen speaking in a trembling voice, conveying a deep longing for the BTS members and armies around the world. His words were simple, but they touched the deepest layers of emotion. He mentioned gratitude, guilt for not being able to be there in person, and hope that their togetherness would remain strong despite the distance. Jungkook, known for his steadfastness on stage, suddenly lowered his face and tears flowed uncontrollably. The camera that was focused on him showed the human side of a global idol who usually seemed unshakable. Jin, who was standing near Jungkook, was also unable to contain his emotional turmoil. He was seen biting his lip, trying to remain strong, but eventually succumbed to the overflowing feelings. As the screen showed Suga's face with a faint smile full of longing, Jin looked down while wiping his eyes. That moment became one of the most dramatic points of the entire event, triggering a wave of reactions from the audience who were caught up in the atmosphere. Armies in the arena were heard sobbing, while social media was immediately flooded with snippets of Jungkook and Jin's tears. This phenomenon is a reminder of the deep emotional connection between the BTS members. More than just colleagues, they are a family that has gone through thick and thin for over a decade. Losing one figure in their togetherness, even if only temporarily, can create a great void. No wonder a simple message from Suga was able to shake the hearts of the members present on stage. Public reactions also varied. Some were so touched that they shed tears just by watching the circulating snippets. Many fans wrote that Jungkook's tears were proof of his sincerity, and that even Jin, who usually appears firm, could not hold back his emotions. Others associated this moment with the great pressure experienced by BTS as a global group, the burden of expectations, non-stop busyness, and the emotional distance that often arises when members have to separate. However, there were also critical questions that arose. Was the video deliberately prepared to evoke the emotions of the audience? Or was this truly a sincere expression from Suga who wanted to convey his feelings? This question sparked a lengthy debate among the public. However, one thing that is undeniable is that the emotional impact was real, not only touching the hearts of Jungkook and Jin, but also millions of people who watched from all over the world. One of the most touching parts of Suga's message was when he said that he missed the laughter and small talk backstage. That sentence was simple, but it was a reminder that behind the spotlight and the magnificent stage, BTS remains 7 young men bound by brotherhood. This is the side that is rarely seen, but at the same time the most human, which makes them so loved. After the video finished playing, the atmosphere still had not recovered. Jungkook was seen taking a deep breath, while Jin held the microphone with a hoarse voice. He briefly said that Suga remains an important part of them, and even though he is not physically present, his heart remains united in every moment. Those words were immediately greeted with cheers of support from the audience who were trying to strengthen the atmosphere. This moment marks how strong the emotional bond of BTS is not only among its members, but also with ARMY. Every tear that fell from Jungkook and Jin's eyes seemed to mirror the feelings of millions of fans who also felt the loss and longing. In the midst of global success and media attention, this incident proves that they remain humans full of emotions, vulnerabilities, and love. Now, the question that hangs in the air is, does this message indicate that Suga will soon return to the stage? Or is it a signal that he still needs more time to recover? The public is still waiting for a definite answer, while the moment of Jungkook and Jin's tears continues to be a hot topic of conversation. Whatever the answer, This event has become an important part of BTS's history. It is not just an emotional snippet, but a symbol of how brotherhood and honesty of feelings are more valuable than just achievements on the music charts. And behind every tear, there is hope that one day they will be complete again, standing together and bringing the same happiness as before. But behind the tears that fell from Jungkook and Jin's eyes, a big question arises. Was this moment truly born from the sincerity of feelings? Or is it possible that all of this is part of a scenario that has been prepared to stir public emotions? This question cannot be ignored, especially in an era when the entertainment industry increasingly understands that a dramatic touch can create a much greater impact than just a musical performance. We need to ask further. Why was Suga's video shown at that moment, at the most crucial moment? Is this a sincere coincidence or a media strategy designed to maximize the emotional effect? Doesn't the modern entertainment industry often use tear moments to strengthen the emotional connection between idols and fans? Is what we see reality as it is, or a carefully arranged show? Jungkook and Jin's reactions, of course, look very natural. But was the camera that was focused on their faces in those emotional moments really spontaneous? Or were the shooting angles and video airing times arranged so that their tears became the main highlight? Don't we often see how the entertainment media arranges scenes in such a way as to ensure that every expression of emotion is recorded perfectly? This reminds us of how news works in the digital age. Information about this moment is not only circulating through mainstream media, but also widely spread on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, to ARMY community forums. Each video clip is cut, edited, enlarged, and given a narrative that can influence how people see the event. Doesn't this raise a new question? How far does the information we consume really reflect the truth? Or are we only seeing a version that has been shaped by social media algorithms? The question goes deeper. Do we as viewers have a tendency to believe more easily because the tears come from public figures we admire so much? Are Jungkook and Jin's tears automatically considered proof of authenticity without us trying to verify the context behind them? Why do we rarely ask if there are other possibilities besides what appears on the surface? Are we too lulled by the charisma and emotional bonds that BTS has built over the years? This is where the importance of skepticism and reflection lies. We need to consider the possibility that news like this could be used to maintain BTS's relevance in the midst of one of its members' absence. Was the emotional message from Suga deliberately published to maintain global attention on this group? Doesn't the moment of tears on stage have great potential to go viral and reignite public discussion that had faded? But on the other hand, could we be too cynical if we immediately suspect that all of this is just engineering? What if the tears were indeed truly honest, born from a deep longing that,